what's going on, guys? Greg Jenkins here from Monkeypod Marketing with another Infusionsoft tip du jour. So in this quick tip, I'm going to show you how to address a situation that I have run into and you may have run into, but the question comes specifically from my friend and colleague, Bonnie. She's an Infusionsoft partner, and she helps lawyers and attorneys use automation in their practice. At any rate, one of her customers had an email go out, but instead of being from the owner of that firm, the email came from Bonnie. And the reason that happened was because the email itself was set to come from the contact's owner. And through somehow, some way, Bonnie had been set as the owner of that particular contact rather than the actual business owner, the lawyer or the attorney whose firm it was. So occasionally this sort of thing happens, and here is what we have put in place as a few measures to fail safe against that. So measurement number one, and the simplest, easiest way to handle this is just by doing a contact search. So filter through your contacts, and over here under miscellaneous criteria, you can say, hey, I want to find anyone who doesn't have Greg as the owner. So if I'm the owner of the application, I want to find any contacts who for some reason are not assigned to me. So let's do a quick search there. And there are 3 of them. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this search. So we'll call this, not assigned to Greg, right? And we can go ahead and click save there. So this search has now been created. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a notification here. So a lot of people don't know that this feature exists, but you can set up, once you've saved a search on the options dropdown, you can have that search emailed to you, any day of the week, right? And you can set it to only send when results are found. So remember, the goal for this search is that it should be 0. There should be nobody on this search. So I don't need an email every morning that says 0 people are assigned to someone other than Greg. What I need is an email only if there's action for me to take. You could do it once a week. You could do it every day of the week. I'm going to do it Monday through Friday here. And you can do save and send now, or we can just click save. So now I've set up the save search, and I've set up a manual notification. And if I get an email that tells me there are people who are assigned to an owner other than Greg, here's what I do. I open that application, I find that particular save search, I select the contacts who are not assigned to me, and then I can do mass update contacts. I think you can actually do reassign contacts as well. Either of those will work. If we do mass update contacts, it's right down here just before the custom fields owner ID, and we can choose Greg Jenkins as the owner. And then let's go ahead and click process action. That should take just a minute to run. We should see those 3 move from scheduled over to processed, and then that action will slide up here. Let's go back to our contacts section. And let's reload that saved search, not assigned to Greg. And at this point, there should be nobody there. So the whole goal, the name of the game, is keeping this search at 0. And this is the manual approach. It's 100% native. So if you don't have any third-party tools, this is a good way to stay on top of those contacts who may have somehow, some way been assigned to an owner that they weren't intended to. Now, the automated way for handling this involves using Zapier. And there's maybe other third-party tools that could do the same thing. But you can see I have a Zap set up to begin whenever there is a new contact. So the action triggering this is just any new contact. Okay. And then the next step that it's going to do is apply a tag. So down here in the setup template, you can choose merge their email address in here. I don't see an option on this list for owner. I don't see an option here for owner. So if I could, I would just set it using the Zap, but I don't see one there. So what I'm going to do is just apply a tag. You can see I've got the webinars unsubscribe tag. You would probably want to create a unique tag here, something like reset owner. But effectively, you want to create and apply some tag to every single contact. And the reasoning behind that is you want to trigger a campaign. So let's go ahead and create a new campaign. And we'll just title this, reset owner to Greg. And it will, of course, start with the tag that Zapier is applying. So webinars, unsubscribe, but really whatever tag you use there. This will be set owner tag. And then we want to trigger a sequence here. And we'll say set owner to Greg. And then in this sequence, we just want the first action to be assign an owner. And we'll just say set owner to Greg. And you can use this to either, assign via a round robin if it's, specific sales reps or a team you want to assign it to. In my case, I'm just going to assign it to Greg here. And that's it. You can set this as ready and you can publish, and every new contact should trigger this zap. Zapier should tag them. The tag should achieve this goal. And then, of course, the sequence will set the owner to Greg. Now, this will work in terms of setting the owner at the onset as soon as that contact is created. The challenge here is we don't know how the owner got changed to Bonnie or how it got changed to someone other than Greg, okay? So this may be good from the beginning, and it's a good best practice to have certain things happen right when a contact is created. But if something happens over time and that owner gets changed, right, this won't reconcile that. This won't rectify that. So here's what you might consider doing. You could immediately remove the tag that triggered this. So whatever tag it was that Zapier was applying, you can remove that here. And then maybe you set a delay timer in here for 1 month or for 2 months or for 3 months. And maybe once a quarter, you have that tag reapply. Okay, so this would be the same tag to apply it there in this case. And then all you need to do is duplicate this tag goal. Okay, so it would effectively be the same tag that triggered this sequence. So when it's applied via Zapier, it achieves this goal. Then the contact is added to this sequence. It sets the owner, removes the tag, and then at the end of each quarter, or about once a quarter, every 3 months, it reapplies that tag. The reason we're reapplying it is so that we can loop this contact through. So because we have the same goal on both ends of this sequence, when the contact is in here, and that tag is reapplied, it's going to achieve this goal, thus stopping the sequence. That's because of this sequence setting here. And then it's going to also achieve this goal. It's restarting the sequence. So that one tag performs two functions. First, it removes them, and then secondarily, it reapplies them and re-adds them and reconfirms that their owner is still set to Greg. So that is a little bit more involved process. It would have some margin for error depending on how long you have this particular timer set to. But in general, if you're worried about too many contacts having their owner reset to something other than the one it's intended, this would provide sort of a safety net in terms of checking on that every quarter or every month or a couple times a year, and then reconciling it to make sure that the owner is set appropriately. So there are your options for handling contacts who may have been assigned to the wrong owner. Of course, the easiest route is to do it manually with the Save Search setup, but a more involved, complex solution is available if you have Zapier or a similar third-party tool. That is it for today's Infusionsoft tip du jour. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Later.